This. Keep them both in the tuck. This.
Mountain bikes with drop bars, gravel bikes with mountain bike tires, and, well, a growing demand for gravel bikes with mountain bike bars, aka flat bars. What? Yes, we're going to talk about that today. Reid Bikes just released the Firetrail 1 and Firetrail 2, both gravel bikes that have flat bars. Let's talk about it. First things first, Reid Bikes did send me the Firetrail 1 and 2 to test and review. However, nobody is telling me to say or not say anything, and nobody gets to review the footage before it is released. The thoughts and opinions on these bikes are solely my own. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. Yes, there actually has been a growing market for gravel bikes with flat bars. I have been seeing this quite a bit on social media, Facebook pages, and things like that. Reid Bikes just released the Firetrail 1 and the Firetrail 2. Both are gravel bikes with flat bars. In this video, I'm going to run down the specs of the Firetrail 1 and 2, as well what it's been like riding a gravel bike with flat bars. I'm going to also tell you who I think this bike's good for, spoiler alert, and maybe some upgrades I would do if I personally bought one myself. In a world where things are getting more and more expensive and the cycling industry is insanely pricey, and, well, let's be honest, everything we see is the most high-end top-tier model, I wanted to share something different. Probably something that more of us could actually afford. And when Reid Bikes reached out and asked if I would review and test out a couple of their bikes, I was super excited. Look, at the end of the day, this platform that I have is all about sharing the stoke of cycling, the things that I learn. It's all about getting people excited about bikes, and if I can any way, shape, or form help more people get on bikes and help more people experience what cycling has to offer, I'm all about it. So I jumped on the chance to test out and review a couple of bikes that I think could be great options for, let's be honest, most people's budgets nowadays. And that is Reid Bikes' vision: affordable, quality bikes. Get more people cycling, hands down. And a little bonus about Reid Bikes, they actually care about the planet. Every bike sold, they plant a tree. That's something I can get behind. Getting more people on bikes and taking care of the planet that we ride on. Let's go ahead and dive into some specs. Now, if you've watched this channel before, I'm not usually a big spec guy. I leave that to other channels. Personally, I'd rather share experiences, my thoughts, what I think about something, and let you go find the rest. However, there's two bikes here and there's a difference between the two. Jumping into the specs of the Firetrail 2, which in my opinion I think is a little bit better purchase, starting with the group set. The group set is all L2. We've got L2 SLT 1000 10-speed shifters, L2 RD T1000 L 10-speed rear derailleur, and an L2 1146 cassette. Pretty good range on the back end there. Brake levers are the Tektro HD R285s. It has a KMC chain. We've got 170 cranks with a 42 tooth 1x chainring from Pro Wheel. You know I am a 1x fanboy. Also, it comes with a carbon fork and the frame is 6061 alloy. 80 millimeter stem with a 700 millimeter Reid alloy flat handlebar that also has 15 millimeters of rise. Tires, I am stoked to see that both bikes come with Kenda tires in 45s, 700 by 45s, and those Kendas are the Piedmonts. I've used Kendas in the past and I've been happy with those tires. To see them actually come on a bike, super excited to see that. You won't need to change out tires right off the bat. And then lastly, we do have a through axle in the front and a quick release in the rear. Moving on to the Firetrail 1 specs. So the Firetrail 1 is a 2x. Starting with the group set, brake levers L2 SL R5008. The cassette is also L2 CSM 5008 8-speed with 1132 cassette. The front derailleur is the L2 FD R5008, and the rear derailleur is the RD R5008 8-speed. Shifters are L2 SL R5008, and the front chain ring is a 3450 with 170 millimeter cranks. Again, comes with the Kenda Piedmont tires in 700 by 45. We also have a through axle on the front and a quick release on the rear. Firetrail 1 does come with a alloy fork, so it does not have the carbon like the Firetrail 2. The brakes are the Tektro MD-U31, which are mechanical. They are not hydraulic. So the Firetrail 2 hydraulic, Firetrail 1 is just the cable actuated mechanical is what I call it. Both bikes have 160 millimeter rotors, by the way, and both bikes come with just a standard set of flat pedals. And lastly, on specs, Reid Bikes does claim that both bikes can run 50 mil tires. I'm always up for bigger tires, of course. Now that the specs are out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about how it's been riding each of these bikes and what I think. Starting with, honestly, let's just go ahead and say both of them. I've taken both of them out and kind of pushed them a little bit. Let's just say pushed them a little bit. So I've taken them down some chunky stuff. I've taken them on some nice gravel paths. I have taken them on commuting rides. I have chased the dogs on them. I have just kind of played around with each one just to kind of see how it does. And well, I might have even taken one to a skate park. I was blown away how well these bikes ride. At the end of the day, if I had to give them just one word, they are fun. They are just fun to ride. I really love the flat bars. I'm a big fan of flat bars. I used to ride fixies, which had flat bars, obviously. I have had mountain bikes, which have had flat bars. I love flat bars. What are you getting out of the flat bars? They're comfortable. I think it's confident, inspiring, and they just help the handling. I like the handlebars on these. They feel good. They are a little bit long in my opinion. I might trim them down a little bit, but that's just me. I was super happy like how this bike handled with these bars. The bike does feel a little bit long. It just makes it feel more stable and in turn is more comfortable. It's not a super twitchy bike. You don't got to worry about it like darting one way or the other. You can still get into the corners just fine. I was really happy how well both of these bikes handled just really sending it down some gravel, chunky gravel. They both did really well. Let's talk about the group set on them. I was blown away by the L2 group set, and I think that is a great move on Reid's part by putting that group set on there. They were very reliable, very snappy. Even the 2x and the 1x, no issues. I actually really enjoyed the L2 group set on there and how well they worked. It's just really fun to use them, maybe because I haven't used mechanical in a while, but I really enjoyed the group sets on these. I think they are a great deal. It's not like you buy this bike and you're gonna have to change out the group set. The group set on there is solid. It's gonna last you a long time. One cool feature I did notice about the group set is when you're going to drop down in a gear, you can just really push the button in all the way and it'll drop several gears. I thought that was neat. The tires are great on here. These are not tires that you buy a bike and then you got to throw away and buy new tires. Like, these tires are going to last. They did good on some loose gravel. They did great on the road. They held speed just fine. Yeah, I was super happy to see the Kenda tires on here. I've had experience using Kenda tires before and was stoked to see how well these models actually worked out on different terrain. I think they're going to hold up just fine. All in all, both of these bikes, if I had to give it like one word, how they are to ride in one word, it's just fun. They are both just extremely fun. Like, I just want to take one out and just go rip down the block, go jump on and off some trail. I just want to throw it around. I don't feel like I have to be so serious. They are both extremely comfortable. I do think the Firetrail 2 with that carbon fork helps eat up a lot of the rough stuff. It's just a little bit more comfortable. The alloy fork is not bad, but it is a little bit stiffer brakes. The Firetrail 2, the brakes work really well. Hydraulic brakes on that, I was surprised how well they work. Both bikes have 160 rotors. The Firetrail 1, the brakes work, but they are not the greatest. Like, you do have to pull a little bit extra harder, and it's also not hard to upgrade to hydraulic brakes. Like, they will work. I think I'm more concerned about the Firetrail 1 brakes if I was getting into super rowdy stuff. If you're keeping it casual, just light gravel and on the road, they work just fine. All in all, I was really pleased at how well these bikes handle. Like, they turn just fine. They can take on chunky gravel, more so if you put the bigger tire on there. They can take on the light gravel. They do just fine holding speed on the road. Like, I can do 15, 18 miles an hour average on these on the road. Not a problem. Just all in all, I was really pleased at how well the handling is on these bikes for the price point and what you're getting out of these. You can't go wrong. Talking about some things that I really like about these, other than obviously the group set and the fact that you can put 50 mil tires on them, is the fact they have mounts everywhere. For water bottles, for if you're gonna go bike packing, like, there is a lot of mounts on there. I think that is a huge bonus for this bike. What is this bike good for? Who's it good for? Everything and everyone. Yes, they are entry level gravel bikes, but I could see them being used for so much, and they will allow you to do so much. Honestly, I thought about, like, okay, who's gonna buy this bike and what's it gonna be for? I was thinking maybe it was more for like somebody just getting into gravel, maybe somebody a little bit older that wants something comfortable. And then I was like riding them around and just ripping and going to the grocery store and taking the dogs out and just going messing around on some new trails. And I was like, no, this bike is for everybody. I do think if you're getting into gravel bikes or if you're getting into cycling, this is a great purchase. You are getting a lot of good components right out the bat. You are going to be super comfortable. It's going to be easy to learn. It's going to be easy to ride. It's going to handle very well. So I think it is a very good bike for somebody just getting into cycling. That said, I also think it's good for somebody who's been in cycling, who just wants something a little bit different, something a little bit more comfortable, maybe wants to sit upright a little bit more. It's good for that. I think these would be a great purchase for anybody that has a short-term rental and, you know, has vacationers coming and want to have some recreational bikes for them to use. That would be, man, if I showed up to a short-term rental on vacation and I seen these bikes sitting there, oh, you bet your butt I would be excited and out ripping up the neighborhood. I think they would also make a great winter bike, being that you could put bigger tires on them and run them on the road. If you live in a place that has snow and things like that, or weather, man, these are great winter bikes, especially being alloy and having that carbon fork up there. Yeah, I think these are great bikes for people who want to commute, going to work or going to the store, or, you know, wanting to use your car less. These are awesome options. Firetrail 1 or 2, like, you can't go wrong. I also think this bike is for the serious bike racer who needs a beat around bike, can get on a bike that does not have a power meter and can just get back to why we ride bikes and just have fun. Because riding these bikes, I had a lot of fun with no power meter, with no data, just going out, testing them out, just putting them through the paces. I really just enjoyed riding a bike again. Also, I think this could be a great budget bike packing bike. I think for somebody who wants to get into bike packing but does not want to spend a lot of money on a bike and they really want to get into bike packing, this Firetrail 2 is a seriously good option. Like, I would take this thing out bike packing. Depending on the bike packing that you want to do, I mean, it is totally doable with how much mounts that are on there. This would be a killer bike packing rig. You could set it up any which way you want. You could put a little bit bigger tires on there, you know, some good gravel, some good road, whatever kind of route you can think of. I think it would be a great entry-level bike packing bike, something that you can grow into and upgrade some stuff later down the road. And you can just really beat it up and it's just gonna hold up. I don't wanna put these bikes into one category. Yes, they are affordable in my opinion. Yes, they could be considered entry level, but kind of hard to say entry level when you're getting things that work so good and tires and performance. Okay, there is a couple quirks, not really negatives or really big downsides, but things I think need to be noted about these bikes. First one being is the Firetrail 1 and 2, the fork mounts are a little bit different. On the Firetrail 2, you have fork mounts, 2 fork mounts that are spaced equally apart and then one a little bit lower. On the Firetrail 1, they are all equal, all 3 of them. Not a big deal, but depending on what you're putting on the fork, something worth note. Also, they have a ton of mounts like I said. Only place they did not put mounts that I kind of wish they did was on the top tube. So you could put a bag up there. You can still buy a bag to strap on there, but you cannot screw a bag onto the top tube. Water bottle cages. They do have mounts for the water bottle cages. However, the mounts are a little bit higher. I do wish that the mount that was closer to the seat was a little bit lower. The problem with the mounts and being up higher is if you wanted to run a 1 liter bottle like I do, it's going to be a tight fit. They could have put the mounts just a little bit lower for the water bottle cages. Now obviously they will have to do things to keep the cost low for you, but one quirk I definitely want to let you know about, and it's not going to change the way it rides or anything like that, and it's really not too big of a deal, but the front wheel is a through axle and the rear wheel is a quick release. So the way they attach is 2 separate systems. The only reason I'm mentioning that is if you decide you want to put some different wheels on there, carbon wheels, or just want to change them out, you will have to find a company where you can buy one wheel that is a quick release and one wheel that is a through axle. You won't be able to buy like a normal set of wheels, which are usually either quick release or through axles. So you got kind of one of each. And Reid Bikes did do this obviously to save some money. It's not a big deal, but it's just going to be a little bit more work getting a wheel upgrade if you so choose. Those are the only things that I can pick out. Like, I don't have any issues with this bike. I don't have any negatives about this bike. Those are the few things I can get nitpicky about, and that's about it. Okay, maybe a couple updates if I were to go out and buy the Firetrail 2 today. First one would be I would change out the chainring to an oval chainring. I'm just a big oval fanboy. I think a 40 or a 38 tooth would be phenomenal with that 46 in the rear. I would probably cut the ends off the bars a little bit just to make them a little bit shorter. I would put a suspension stem on there. Being that they are alloy, they are a little bit stiffer. That carbon fork helps out, but if you were to put a suspension stem on there, oh man, that'd be a plush ride. I'd definitely upgrade to the 50 tires, and if anything else, if I was really trying to spend some money, I would probably upgrade the group set to wheel top electronic, maybe a set of wheels, and other than that, that thing would be ripping. And I only say that because some people ask me, well, what can I do to make it lighter or make it faster or whatever? And those are just some things that I personally would do to just get more comfort and just to make it a little bit more suited for what I like to do. And lastly, I just want to mention that Reid Bikes have more than flat bar gravel bikes. They have a ton of other options, from e-bikes, road bikes, drop bar gravel bikes, fat tire bikes. I mean, they have a lot. Be sure to give them a check out. Go to reidbikes.com. If you're in the USA and looking to buy one of these bikes or any other bikes from Reid, you can also go to the Reid Bikes website and find a dealer, or you can purchase something online. And that's all I got. At the end of the day, I think Reid Bikes did a phenomenal job with the Firetrail 1 and 2. I really am impressed with both of them. I love the Firetrail 2. I love the group set and everything that you get on it. I love how both bikes just handle. I think they are both extremely fun. I want to take one out and go bike packing. Honestly, I've wanted a flat bar gravel bike for a while, and after riding one of these, I would 100% pay my own money to buy one of these, because there's some upgrades that I would love to do to just make this an all-around ripper. And I just have really enjoyed these bikes. I think they are a great value for the money that you're paying. I think if you're going into your first gravel bike and just want something a little bit more confident, inspiring, these will do absolutely no problem. They will get you through whatever distance you're trying to do. They are both budget conscious. If you were to buy either one, it's going to hold up. You don't got to worry about things breaking down on you. You're going to be able to take it and ride the things that you want to ride. They are comfortable. I think there is some seriously good value in these bikes, and I am super excited to be able to just get a chance to test them out, have some fun, and kind of just share that with you. And yeah, hats off to Reid Bikes. They did a great job. With that said, if you have any questions about the Firetrail 1 or the Firetrail 2, please drop them below. If you have any other questions about Reid Bikes, let me know. All the information about Reid Bikes is also listed in the description. Go give them a check out. If you're looking for a bike, if you're looking to have some fun, if you just need something different, I highly recommend them. With that said, I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll do it again.